Kid Craddock in the morning.
The Showbiz Top 5.
Hey, this is Kelly Rasberry, and this is your Showbiz Top 5 for Monday. It's January 7th, the first Showbiz Top 5 of 2008. A very naughty year, I'm predicting. Now, the biggest names in Hollywood say they are all set to boycott the Golden Globes Awards this Sunday, which are still scheduled to air on NBC. But what are they going to do without celebrities actually in the audience to win any of the awards? But all the actors with the Screen Actors Guild have unanimously said we're going to support the writers on their strike. So unless they can figure out something by Sunday night, I don't know what NBC's going to do. But at this point, they say the awards will go on. Now, Kristin Cavallari turned 21, and now she says the best part about it is she can go into the nightclubs and not have to worry about anything, because you know she was trying to sneak in some stuff in those plastic cups all the time. But she did celebrate with a big party at LAX in Las Vegas, which is in that Luxor hotel, and her first official legal drink as an adult, Grey Goose and soda. She spent the night cuddling up to her ex-boyfriend Matt Leinart, who also happened to be there partying in the VIP table next to hers. Andrew Morton's got an unauthorized biography of Tom Cruise coming out a week from tomorrow. So excited about this book. I can't wait to read it. Now, it's not coming out for another week, but the Daily Mail over in London has leaked a few of the more shocking details. Mainly, I think the one that's going to have Tom's people the most upset is that Katie Holmes is not, well, no, that Tom is not the father of Katie Holmes' baby, that she was impregnated with the frozen sperm of L. Ron Hubbard. Do you believe that? I don't know for sure, because I think Suri does look a lot like Tom. Didn't think so much at first. Now, in the book, Andrew also says that Tom is currently second in command in the Church of Scientology, right behind David Miscavige. So this could ultimately mean that Tom could head the church at some point. Who knows what could happen in the future. Now, you may have seen the video of Lindsay Lohan from New Year's Eve. She was over in Italy, where she rang in 2008, and somebody passed her a big bottle of champagne, and she took a big swig from it, but that's all we saw was her taking that one drink. Her attorney says right after that, she took, a hold of the situation. She called her sponsor, and now she is back on the sober track for the new year. Now, in the meantime, she seems to have a little bit of problem with her boyfriend selections. They all have big mouths. Riley Giles sold his story about their relationship to the tabloids, and then when she's over in Italy, she hooked up with not one, not two, but 3 different Italian lovers, a very busy little girl. And Italian lover number 1 decided to take his story to the press for money because his heart was broken. He didn't realize that Lindsay was going to move on after him, and so the only thing he could do to, release himself of the ugliness of the situation was to make money off of it. And then finally, of course, we're on vacation when the biggest story of all happens, and that's of course Britney Spears being hauled off, strapped down to a gurney in an ambulance. It was looking pretty serious. I mean, anybody watching that video would have just assumed she was high on something. But now some very reliable sources are saying her hospital test came back and she was completely clean. No drugs or alcohol in her system. Now, sources say she's actually been battling a psychological problem for quite some time. Is it postpartum depression? Is it bipolar disorder? Is it schizophrenia? Is it 2 or 3 different things? We don't know. But they say she's actually clean, so it's not drugs or alcohol that's the problem in this case. Now, as Britney was checking out of the hospital on Saturday morning, Dr. Phil made a very unwelcome and unplanned, uninvited visit to Britney Spears. He wanted to talk to her about coming on his show for a televised intervention. And Britney at first just walked out of the room, but she came back a few minutes later because she wanted to gather up her stuff and get the hell out of there. And basically she told him flat out, no, not participating in that. So anyway, Dr. Phil today is still planning on taping a show about Britney Spears, her spiraling out of control. Reportedly, Jamie Spears is going to be on it. That's Britney's father. They've had a kind of off and on relationship for a while. He's had his own problems with booze. I think he's a little cleaned up now. I don't know if anybody else in the family's taking part, but Britney definitely not. And that will air on Dr. Phil's show tomorrow. That's your Showbiz Top 5 for Monday.